Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta. I want to start out right here at Matthew 6 and verse 10. It says, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven." And everything comes down to the Lord's will and what he wants to be done, what he wants to be moved and shaped within the earth and within the heavens. It's all about the Lord's will. And he's the spirit behind it all. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is behind everything. And so it's ultimately the Lord's will that will be done. And so we will have on earth being similar to how it is in heaven, orderly, basically. And I was going into that because of this saying, a battle of wills. And it's just the quick AI overview from Google. But it says a battle of wills is a situation where people are determined to get their way and neither side is willing to compromise. It can also refer to people who try to defeat each other by refusing to change their demands and hoping their opponents will weaken first. And that first part is exactly the situation that we're in currently, in this battle of good versus evil, in this battle between Jacob and Esau. It says a battle of wills is a situation where people are determined to get their way and neither side is willing to compromise. And luckily for the hopeful elect, our will is the Lord's will. And so that is what will be done. And Esau, so-called white men, so-called small hatters, the 1948ers, they've been pushing their will onto the earth during this short time that they've had to rule. And through that, they have created a completely false reality and flipped everything upside down from the Lord's will. But currently, we're fighting the spiritual battle, the spiritual warfare, to have the Lord's will be done. And so at this point, it's an uphill battle because Esau's will has been pushed out there and it's completely taken over the minds of the people. And so that they think and believe in the false reality, the false will that Esau has put out there. But things would be much better, much more life if the Lord's will were done, if the laws, statutes, and commandments were actually carried out on this earth. Things would blossom to its fullest extent. But currently we're in a phase of death. Going back to this definition, I guess and the second part says it can also refer to people who try to defeat each other by refusing to change their demands and hoping their opponents will weaken first. And that is basically a war of attrition, which I also pulled up. And this is from Wikipedia, attrition warfare. It's a military strategy consisting of belligerent attempts to win a war by wearing down the enemy to the point of collapse through continuous losses in personnel, material, and morale. The word attrition comes from the Latin root atterere, meaning to rub against, similar to the grinding down of the opponent's forces in attrition warfare. And that is what the men that you see on the highways and byways, starting with the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone and the men of the likewise doctrine, that is what is going on. That's why videos and lessons are being put out consistently through every single day. That is why every week, and sometimes multiple times a week, the camps are gathered, in which we go out to the highways and byways to preach the gospel. And it's not going to stop. It's very consistent, and it's been slowly grinding down Christianity and Esau's concepts and theories and ways and his overall false reality that he has set up upon this earth, and the false history, the false science. These things are all being addressed by the men of the Lord. And this is a form of attrition warfare, the grinding down of their beliefs and ways, because this isn't a physical war, it's a spiritual war. And the things that they believed are all being grinded down, and it's decreasing their morale, and it's decreasing their personnel. You see the churches losing people constantly, and eventually the victory will come. But this is a battle of wills, and it's a battle of attrition. Let's get the scriptures. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 3. It says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh," because we're in a spiritual war. It's our wills, our consistency, the spirit through the Lord that is grinding these people down. And the scriptures, the book, the Bible, is our weapon against all of that, because that's where truth is held, through the Lord's word, because that's where truth is. But everything else that's been said within this since the Renaissance and even before, those are going against the Lord's truth. Because truthfully, we do need the law, statutes, and commandments, but the people say they wince at the thought of them even being enacted. They can't stand that. But this battle has to keep going until everyone's put under the rule, power, and authority of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds." The weapons being the book. We also have prayer, we have fasting, we have fellowshipping, and we have the Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. And this is all, using these weapons, all pulls down the strongholds that Esau has created. His whiteness is one that's being pulled down, because the scriptures say that they're red and not white. And thanks to Elder Malcolm and bringing out the whiteness was created in Virginia in 1681, that's a stronghold of theirs that is being pulled down. We also have Christianity and the Small Hatter religion as well. Those are being pulled down because they're not the people, and they shouldn't be giving out the law. And the scriptures show us that they are not the people, and that's a stronghold that's being pulled down. And his various history, his false history that he's created, that's being pulled down with true history. The Lord is really working on these people and pulling them down. They're waning worse and worse. Verse 5, "Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the Anointed." And everything is being pulled down, all his false history, all his lies, and as well as for the other nations too, because they have to have their power taken away, and their powers within their their cultures and how they are, but they have to be put under the law, statutes, and commandments as well. Going to go to Ephesians 6 and verse 10, the armor of the Most High. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Because as the hopeful elect, we let the Lord fight our battles. And who could go against the Most High? So, especially go against his will. And his will is to set up the Israelites over the other nations and bring them down. So let's get this word might, because our power, it's a very strong power. But it's Strong's G 2479. Iskos. Let's hear it.
Strong's G 2479. Ishus.
Ishus. That's what he said. I don't know if I have the volume turned on for you to hear that, but it says outline of biblical usage. It's the ability, force, strength, might, and who is more mighty than Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Strong's definition is forcefulness, ability, might, power, and strength. Let's check out this root. Strong's G 2192, echo. To have, to hold. Hold in the hand, sense of wearing, to have whole possession of the mind, which goes into will. To hold fast, to have or compromise or involve, to regard or consider. Let's go to Strong's definition down here. Such as, it says applications literally or figuratively, direct or remote, such as possession, ability, continuity, relation or condition, be able, to hold, to accompany, count, but yeah, the Lord's might. But going back, Ephesians 6 and 10, it says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. And who can't be strong when the Lord, the most powerful being, or two beings in the whole universe, have our back? We are his people. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Those are all his schemes and his plots, in which they have many. And it goes into all the lies and his secret agendas, and we have to be strong through that, because it is, if you were to look at it carnally and have the understanding that a new world order is about to take place, it's something that you really do have to stand strong and in the Lord's might with. And but yeah, carnally, it's frightening to hear of the plans that they have and the amount of death that they want to occur. But being of the hopeful elect, we have the Lord that we could be strong with, strong behind. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. So going into the elite, and we're trying to pull, especially the elite of Esau, trying to pull them down. That's enemy number one. Against spiritual wickedness in high places, because it's up high. It's from the left hand on down through the elite of Edom, and then even into the elite of the other nations, and throughout this world. Things have been set up and done in a false way for so long, in a wicked way for so long, that people can't even imagine what a righteous world will be like. But it will be glorious, and it will be in order. And this all has to be pulled down. And so week in and week out, the warfare is happening on the highways and the byways, at least from the right hand, and it's going throughout through the lessons as well, and through the brotherhood building up. And this is all pulling down these pulling down the spiritual wickedness that's in high places. Verse 13, it says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand." And so we've got to use all of the tools that we have. We have to have prayer, fasting, the brotherhood, and the spirit. And we have to use these things to be able to make it out of this hellish condition that we are in. And we have to gird up our minds, which, let's get 14 too. It says, "Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness." So we've got to gird up our minds and be standing with our will intact, and we have to force this will, which is the will of the Lord. This has to be forced onto the entire earth, and the Lord has given us a very easy avenue to do it through. And so this battle has to keep happening. They have to be worn down more and more in this war of attrition, or this battle of attrition, and in this battle of wills. Our will has to be pushed. The Lord's will, first and foremost. His will has to be pushed, and He's doing that through the hopeful elect, through His men, especially through the men of the great millstone. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.